Let's talk soul contracts for a second. I think that our limited understanding of souls and incarnations gets us into thinking that soul contracts are, and usually the most like common issue people have is they're like, well, who would agree to be traumatized? Who would agree to get in a relationship with a narcissist? Who would be agree to be homeless or be a drug addict or any of the situations that could happen in our life? And I think that what we don't seem to understand is, first of all, not everyone has a soul contracts or any soul contracts. So let's just kind of throw that out. But second of all, soul contracts aren't about the actual circumstances or the situations that are happening. They're dealing with universal themes. Okay, so most of you know I used to be an English teacher. Go with me down this little path for a second. The concept of universal theme is like a statement, an idea, a feeling that can play out in many different ways. Like, for example, a common theme we see in literature is like love conquers all, right? And so, one author might write a story about a swashbuckling pirate who changes his ways because a woman he's kidnapped, causes him to see that love really is the greatest virtue. And that might be a completely different story than a woman whose son is battling cancer and she goes on a journey of self love and learns how to be a better mom to him. Both end up with that theme of love and love conquering all these obstacles, even though their stories play out different ways. Soul contracts. You and another soul may agree, like, hey, when we get down there, we're going to work on this concept of self worth. But then all these other things come into play determining how that happens. We're talking about your ancestral lines, generational trauma, where you're born, your race and ethnicity, the time period, the collective unconsciousness. Literally, there are so many variables that impact that contract and how soul contracts are a thing. But no, you're right. Nobody agrees to come in and be abused or be an abuser or kill or get maimed or do any of the horrible things that we also need to take accountability for the collective that we have created within ourselves. This is the only way we can realize that we are one and that we all do come together to teach each other lessons. But the manner in which we've been teaching needs to change. That has been impacted by our